It's all about the process. It's all about the growth. It's all about the changes that you make on a day-to-day basis. Understanding that, like you said, if I don't have action behind my goal, I'm just kind of staying in the same spot. And that's something for you to think about, something for people to think about. Anytime you have a goal, there has to be action behind it. Otherwise, you're just dreaming.
Welcome back to another episode of the Highlight Reel. Today we have a special guest. You've seen this guest or maybe heard this guest before, but we are here again with my uncle.
Absolutely.
And I'm looking forward to this episode because I feel like you always pour into me and give me wisdom and insight. We always talk a little bit of garbage or whatnot. Football, depends on what it is, the gym.
It depends.
All that good stuff. But
Right.
I thought that it would be good to have this conversation because this is the start of another season for the podcast. But I would also say it's a new season for me in life.
Yeah.
And likely it is for you as well.
For
So
sure.
I wanted to be able to talk about at least, of course, some things that are going on with me, but we can also, this could be a back and forth. It's not like it needs to be just an interview or nothing like that.
Okay.
But
With it.
yeah, so I'm glad that we are here because
too, man.
as we were talking about off camera, there's a lot of growth that's been going on in my life and
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
And of course, as we are all going through life, we're growing. But I wanted to be able to talk to you today to maybe get some wisdom and some insight on some things that I've been feeling, some questions I have, because I know that you are you like a bigger brother to me, but also a father figure, a minister, as well as a therapist.
Absolutely.
So I figure as you pour into me, you could also be inadvertently pouring into others that are watching me, around me, or same age as me.
For sure.
So yeah.
For
All
sure.
right. So first off, I just want to see, like, how are you? How are you?
Doing great, man. Life is grand. Like you said, it's a season of change for us. We have, children moving into young adulthood, going to college, a couple of children still in high school. So, I mean, it's different.
Yeah.
It's very exciting.
That's good. That's good. So fatherhood is treating you well so far?
Fatherhood is treating me well, keeping me with plenty of challenges and keeping me growing as well because, like I said, I've never been here. And that's how you overcome is like you got to be challenged to grow
Yeah.
and have things to kind of look forward to and stretch you a little bit. So, yeah, it's definitely doing that.
That's good. That's good. Because I'm not a father, but life is stretching me, right?
Yeah.
And I think that I'm currently in a season, again, as I alluded to earlier, there are some things that are going on in my life that have me excited, but also have me worried and nervous at the same time. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to think about how to balance those things because I feel that I'm starting to transform somewhat into another person, of course,
Okay.
but it's like I'm dismantling other parts of myself that maybe I thought were good for me or were good for me and maybe just need to transition. So I'm trying to deal with those things because like I was telling you, I have basically a job opportunity potentially somewhere.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of fear that was in my body.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking this could be a huge opportunity for me to go do this new thing. But I'm also scared because of what it's going to require of me. So I'm wondering, what would be your thoughts on that? Talking to a younger person, of course, around 25.
I love what you said in terms of you taking this opportunity seriously and understanding the way you feel about it, right? Fear is a good thing. Fear lets you know that you're growing up and the stakes are higher. And it lets you know that there's an opportunity in front of you that you want to take. But here's the thing about fear. It's good to recognize it. It's bad to listen to it. We're not listening to fear. We are champions. We are kings. We are the rulers in the earth. And we have the capacity to meet any challenge that's handed to us. And we've been doing that for years. This is what I teach people in session. A little simple acronym that we pulled from Vanilla Ice, Ice Baby, of course.
Okay, Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice, right? I mean, that's the
Okay.
era I grew up in.
Right.
I heard Vanilla Ice, it was trash. But anyway,
Yeah.
Ice Baby, and the acronym is ICE. Jariah, you have intangibles. Intangibles are your personality, your smile, your laugh, all the foundational pieces that make you you, right? You bring it to the table. You're a college graduate, so you have credentials. You're not just some dude applying off the street. You actually went to school. You got some backing behind you. You're a proven commodity. The last thing is experience. Experience gets you in the door, allows people to see you for who you are, and experience says this person is worth taking a chance on. So whatever you're doing in life, whatever you aspire to do, take your ice with you. Your intangibles, your credentials, your experience. And you carry that, and if you carry that with you the right way, you never have to be afraid of anything, because people are looking for you right now. One of my favorite stories in the Bible comes from the story of King David. King David had a best friend named Jonathan. Jonathan died in battle. And King David said, find me somebody in Jonathan's family who I can show kindness to. And he found his long lost grandson, and he took the grandson and set him at the king's table and basically took care of him as his own. And it's people out there looking for us right now, trying to find you. And here you are sitting here saying you're afraid. Don't be afraid.
I think that, okay. All right. So what is hard for me to think about sometimes is, as you were a witness to, I got baptized earlier this year, right? Now, this has probably been one of the things that's been sitting with me all year. Because of course, as I got baptized, most people get baptized because they want to start a new leaf, be reborn in a way, right?
Yeah.
And I was thinking, as soon as I got baptized, I was probably naive. I would say I was naive for thinking this, but as soon as I got baptized, I thought my life was going to change and certain things were just going to automatically become a new thing.
Yeah.
And for a little bit, it was like that. But then I started to fall back into bad habits. And I think that made me feel very fraudulent. It makes you feel like, okay, I didn't mean what I said. I meant what I said, but my actions failed me. And my mindset and perspective failed me at the time.
Yeah.
So when that happens, it scares me, because I'm thinking, all right, I want to be this new person, but I've said this before and then that didn't go how I wanted it to. So how do I continue to go forward to be this person I say I want to be when I've already shown myself how flawed I am in my thinking sometimes? So
again, understanding our flaws is good. It gives you the groundwork of where you need to go. And if you're saying you took the baptism and you had this expectation that things would just change overnight, there's not many things in life that happen like that. It's all about your level of effort and taking those bad habits, those flaws, and slowly correcting them. And that's what, grace and time is about. Like you said earlier, growth over time. Not, I take this, I take part in something and I'm just a new person the very next day. It's all about the process. It's all about the growth. It's all about the changes that you make on a day-to-day basis. Understanding that, like you said, if I don't have action behind my goal, I'm just kind of staying in the same spot. And that's something for you to think about, something for people to think about. Anytime you have a goal, there has to be action behind it. Otherwise, you're just dreaming.
I agree.
Yeah, so
I will
keep working at it, man.
I will say one of the most interesting things that has happened as far as how I think about myself now is I know I have a better idea of what I'm capable of, good and bad.
Okay.
And I think with that, it kind of grounds me in a way. Instead of thinking of myself as just a good person, I do think of myself as human. Like I feel like I'm more
good
human. Yeah. Like I've desensitized how I guess would think about things, and let me not, that's the wrong word to use, but I would say I've kind of more humanized myself in that manner, as far as some people try to be a good person and not be a bad person, but good people are capable of both and bad people are capable of both.
I like
so
it.
I've realized that I'm capable of both. It's just a choice in how I want to go about my life and how I live my life, how I react to things that I might have done, or how I can be proactively moving toward the things that I want. And I think that that's helped me to give myself maybe a little bit of grace.
Absolutely.
I think so.
I couldn't say it any better. That's exactly how we teach it. Human beings have the capacity for great evil and great positivity. And it's up to the individual to decide which side they want to be on. Like back in the day, I grew up with the cartoons. Angel on the right, devil on the left. And it's like you said, it's about your decision, it's about your goals, it's about your esteem. How do you see yourself, and how do you want to see yourself? And if you want to see yourself better, your actions have to also align. And as you begin to do things better, your esteem will go through the roof, your confidence will go through the roof. And people will also say, that is a really good guy. I've not seen him in X, Y, and Z. I've not heard about X, Y, and Z. This person is, I want to say pure, but this person is good. This person is solid, right? Because I know people don't like ascribing perfection, right? And it's not about perfection, but it is about effort. And if, like you said, if you can set your intention and have some action behind it, you'll get there.
Okay, because I'm just thinking about how sometimes you have to hit your head more than one time for you to really learn. But what is it that you may tell people when they ask for advice on a certain thing, then they still don't do it, then they come back with the same problem? So how do you help them move forward from that? Because I feel like what you've been saying is that basically what you would tell them, as far as just, improving your perspective of how you see yourself and how you make your decisions.
So, nephew, as a therapist, it's my job to find and create goals for people. And then if they come back and they say, I'm still not reaching my goal, I dig deeper and I ask them, what's holding you back? What barriers are you having? Are you ready to change? Because people can have these grand ideas, but simply not be ready to move forward. And that's okay. But be honest about that. Just like you've gotten to a place in your life where you're like earning opportunities. That's what it is. You've earned opportunities to venture and explore. And people are saying, come check us out. And you've earned that. You got to think about it like that. You've earned that. Because if you didn't earn it, it wouldn't be on the table.
Okay.
Right. And as you prepare for that, think about how you want to show up, how you want it to look. Create that picture in your mind first and begin to frame it step by step, day by day. And again, are you ready for the big leagues? Just like how when you started the highlight reel, it was one thing, then it evolved, and you kept raising the bar. And that's what you're supposed to do, because that's what's in you. And this is another opportunity to show what's in you, and how much you've grown as a man. And it's nothing to be afraid of. But let me say this one last thing. I do understand, because in my experience, when I was a younger therapist, I know all about imposter syndrome. And imposter syndrome is...
I've heard some interesting things about that.
Yeah. I'm doing this job and I don't feel qualified. And that is why I developed the Ice Baby. Because I had to even encourage myself that I'm supposed to be here. Right? And it's not by mistake. It's not by some random act. I earned this. I'm supposed to be here. And I'm going to embrace it. And I'm not going to be afraid because nobody's expecting me to do this job perfectly. Like they say, there's levels to it.
Correct. So in everything that I've been saying so far, and just knowing me, of course, as your nephew, what do you think are the things that are holding me back? What would you think?
I don't think anything is holding you back.
Okay.
I think once this opportunity presents itself, I think you're going to take it. I think you're going to knock it out the park because that's who you are. Like you said off camera, you thrive on responsibility. You thrive with a little bit of pressure, and that's what makes diamonds, pressure. And some people need to feel that push to, get the engine going, and once it's going, it's going. So embrace it.
Okay. So what were some things that you felt, our lives at 25 are drastically different. Because you were 25 and you were married. I believe my cousin was already here. So because I want to get to that at some point. But even when you were at that stage, what were some of the things that you were scared of, or if you felt like were holding you back?
Well, I had a picture in my mind, and I didn't even have a clear picture. I just knew what I wanted. And that's why I got married, because I knew I didn't want to be out there doing X, Y, and Z. I knew I loved this young lady, and I knew I would be willing to do whatever it took to make it work. And we've done that for 23 years.
Ooh.
So part of it, Jariah, is the faith to say, I don't even have the complete picture, but I'm willing to take the risk because the risk will be worth it. And that's what faith is. Faith is, I just have an outline. That's all I need, because the rest is going to be filled in as I go. And there will be lumps. There will be difficulties. So I took the risk.
I don't mind taking risks. I don't mind taking risks. Okay. I just feel like some of the risks that I took backfired in a way. There have been times where I feel like they backfired. So, for example, after I graduated, I didn't come straight home. I ended up moving out and moved to a different city, and I was there for a while.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I feel like that backfired because I ended up going back to a place I said I didn't want to go.
And guess what? That happens to a lot of people your age.
Right.
They get out there and they take the risk, and sometimes it does not work according to plan, but it didn't destroy you. I know you learn from it. And that's all you can hope from life, is if things go wrong, you get back up and you have the courage to continue to dream. Depression is when something goes wrong and you just stay down and you let stuff pile up, and you don't feel better. You feel worse because there's more you want and you don't have the motivation to get it. And you just basically stay in a pit. So at least you are back up. At least you are looking forward to what's next. At least your hard work has earned you another opportunity, and that's powerful. I'm proud of you because, like you said, I had no idea things didn't work out on that level, but look at you. You've been doing your highlight reel. You've expanded it. You're doing interviews. I mean, you haven't stopped. And
Correct.
that's powerful because you didn't let what happened break you. And that's all any parent, aunt, uncle, cousin, brother can hope for, that young people learn to be resilient. Because life is going to knock you down, set you back, knock the wind out of you. But don't stop. And that's why you hear about people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s making one move that changed their life.
I think about that a lot as well. Me being 25 and growing up with social media, comparison is
it's the thief of joy.
I know it is. And I would say that's one of my biggest problems currently, because I feel like I have to be present for my platform, of course. And I do, but there are also times where I'm thinking, man, I used to want to, as social as I am, there are definitely times where I would like to just be off the grid. And I have a hard time balancing that. So I end up being on social media, trying to find inspiration, comparing myself to what I see. And then I feel like it's a cycle. It's a cycle that I have a hard time working my way out of.
Well, nephew, I can tell you how I'm older and I go off the grid often. And I have enough in my life that I understand I don't have to really compare myself to anyone. Really, nobody in life does. But like you said, the social media effect is the thinking that I have to, the thinking that I need to, and it's simply not true. And, part of the work of mental health is teaching yourself to take ideas that are not true and get rid of them. And if that means you have regular intervals where you are taking breaks from social media, that's what you need to do. Because it makes no sense for you to allow the pressure of social media to get you out of your comfort zone, miss opportunities, beat yourself up, and dive back into the pit. We're not gonna let you do that. You are too brilliant. And I'm not gonna get sentimental, but I can remember holding you as a baby,
yeah,
picking you up, carrying you around, and I knew you were gonna be great. And don't let nothing stop you, man.
I appreciate you encouraging me like that. Because like I said, I feel like I'm in a season of, I don't want to say redemption, but I feel like there are some things that have happened to me where I was like, okay, you need to do better, a lot better, because your life can really change if you keep this up.
Yeah.
And because I'm making good choices, bad choices, just both I can learn from, and I keep thinking about how I want to move forward. Because again, a lot of people say that your brain is done, forming when you're 25. Like everything is there. Everything is there, right? Yeah. So I feel like maybe that's a part of it. But I also feel like some of the experience I've had is making me think, okay, you know what you need to be doing now, or you know how you need to be moving. And I think that this is like I said, kind of a redemption season for myself, because I know I want to live differently. I want to move differently. I know I talk about being social and being out all the time. Because of my work schedule currently, I haven't been, but I've been enjoying that a little bit.
Good.
And I think that everything that's been going on, because I was beating myself up not too long about just some things I had been experiencing recently. And I said, I have a choice. Like, I have a choice here. I don't have to sit in this. I can move forward and just say, okay, I might have made this bad decision when dealing with this person or in this relationship with this person, friend, whatever. And I can say, okay, I messed up there. And that's why I said I've learned what I'm capable of. And I really think that's made some things a lot simpler for me. Yeah. Because I don't hold myself really to a perfect standard. I just know that I'm capable of bad. I am. I don't even hide that anymore. But I'm very capable of doing good. Yeah. And I think it's good for people to be able to see that, because we tend to beat ourselves up when we make a bad decision or do something that wasn't necessarily fruitful, when really, if you didn't have anything to learn, I don't know if there would be as much progress. Because if you have to fail first and then go there, sometimes you can learn from other mistakes, but you have to have your own experiences. And I think mine have been informing me of what I don't want and who I don't want to be. Right. So I've been saying, okay, I could have done better in that area, but now that I do know better, now that I know better, I have to do better. And that's where I'm at with it.
And that's the typical life experience. You know, you do certain things enough, you get tired of them, you get full of them. It's like, okay, I've taken this to the fullest extent. What's next, right? And that's what maturity is. Maturity is saying, I've done enough of this. I want the next challenge. I want what's next for my life because this is not fulfilling me. This is not pouring into me the way I thought it was or the way it once was. Because maybe it was at one season in your life, but like, again, the older you get, the more you realize there's certain things in life that we do when we're younger. It's just not important. It's not fruitful. It's not enjoyable. Hangovers, you know, fights, clubs, getting shot at, getting robbed.
Oh, matter of fact, that happened to me. I told you that. Remember, my car got broken into.
Oh yeah.
Like, even I'm trying my best to not have a victim mentality, because something happened to me and I wasn't there, like my car, right?
Yeah.
I know a lot of people be like, well, there's nothing I could do. To a certain extent, there wasn't, but there were things in my car. So I'm thinking I could have maybe done something just a little different. And I'm trying to keep that going. As long as I keep that mentality going, I feel like I'll see improvements. Because when that happened, I was thinking, dang, it's real easy to just say, well, that's money that I have to spend for something I didn't do. And that was the case, but maybe there was something I could have done to improve that. Do you think thinking like that is a negative in a way? Because I feel like on one hand, you'll think there's something I could have done or something I could have done. Well, sometimes there isn't.
Right.
Or maybe there was. Which one do you think?
You know, if we're honest, we always have regrets, right? But you think about it and you let it go. Because like you said, if you spend too much time on it, it'll start to cycle in your brain. And you won't be able to let it go, and you'll beat yourself up and it'll just drag you down. We've all had cars broken into. Some of us have had homes broken into.
Yeah.
Like, remember me and your aunt living in our first apartment. Somebody broke in there, took everything, and it was like, this really sucks.
Yeah.
But that's life. Life sometimes doesn't make sense. It's not really fair. And again, like I've said to you before, you probably replace the things and you keeping it moving, right? And of course, there's parts of every city that you have crime in, and it's like, what can you do? You can't boil the ocean, you know.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Okay. And I also want to know, what are some things, I don't know the age ranges of your clients, but what are some of the common issues that you see some people deal with and why worries?
You said some of the common things people deal with, and what else?
Some of the common themes as far as their worries.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, worry can really range from a variety of things, but I can tell you that I see a lot of young people your age coming out of college, in college, and really getting confused about next steps in life. Because for so long,
Accurate.
People said, grow up, grow up, grow up. And now you've grown up, you've grown. And it's still a feeling of, I don't know what to do next. But like you've outlined today, as you have been consistent, as you have continued to grow, opportunities are now finding you. And that's the sweet spot of life. If you continue to work and be consistent, make good decisions, you're not in jail. You don't have people showing up to your job, cutting your tires during break. For real, things like that.
Yeah.
Opportunities are coming to you now. And I can tell you how, as a young Black therapist, I get opportunities all the time. Sometimes I can't even take them all because there's so many chasing me down.
Okay. Okay. Slight flex.
What?
Yeah.
It is what it is. I'm a young Black male therapist.
You got some grays, but keep going.
I got some grays, but I've earned them. I've earned them,
Okay.
and the opportunities are now finding me. Right? There's times I wake up and there's people on my phone looking for me,
Yeah.
and it's a blessing because you want that. You want to feel valued. And when people begin to find you and search you out, you've made a significant amount of right choices where you can now choose.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
Because I do feel like I'm kind of coming around to that. When people tell me that they see my pot, I ran into someone recently, and they said that they watch my stuff, and it was someone I haven't talked to in forever.
Exactly.
Forever.
Exactly.
I was like, really, really.
And the beauty of social media is you can put something out in 2020, and somebody might see it for the first time tonight and be hooked, be a fan.
Yeah. You have a good point.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we had this, and because I have more questions, but I also don't want to dilute or necessarily have to prolong it, because like I said, I've had my fears, but I feel like I know where I'm going. I have a better idea than maybe you thought I did, or maybe than I used to, but I feel like I walk with a different kind of feeling, of a different kind of light about myself, because I know that things for a while weren't looking so good from my perspective, but now I feel like I'm on the path that'll have me making the moves and doing the things that I want to do because of the things that I've learned.
Good.
And I think that's harder for some compared to others as far as coming around to that point, but I think it's important to get there, because I used to have my life on a timeline for sure. I used to think that, I'd have been married by now. And with kids, a kid, maybe. But that is now something that I don't try to sweat that anymore.
Okay.
Because I think the last time I had a girlfriend, I realized I had no business having a girlfriend. So that that was a harsh reality I had to find. You had a question? I feel it.
No question. I'm just listening to you.
No.
That was a very interesting statement about, the timeline. That's something that we tell people all the time. You don't want to subscribe to that because, like I said, life is truly unpredictable.
Yeah.
And if your timeline does not align, then you get scared and you get nervous. And then you go into panic mode because you planned this thing out, you wrote this thing out, and it's like I didn't account for this happening, that happening, this happening, that happening, and now the whole timeline is off, and you begin to feel like my life is ruined, and it's not.
Yeah, I just try to bring back the attention to me, and be happy with my life, because I feel like I'm always looking at what other people are doing, and that's my problem. But if I can get back to focusing on me and what it is that I do, not to become self-absorbed or anything, but to at least have that focus, then I can probably get to the things that I'm looking at or want to be. Absolutely. And I also feel fulfilled because I know that I'm doing what I can within my circle and within my bubble to get to where I want to go. And it's just been a hard reality for me to come to, because I felt that I've always had to maybe be around everywhere to maybe get to a certain place I want to go. But I'm realized, as we've alluded to, when you're actually working and then you're doing what you need to do, people will start to come to you.
That's right.
It just sounds kind of,
it's counterintuitive.
Yeah.
But trust me. Become consistent. Develop discipline.
Yes, sir.
Discipline trumps motivation, because you won't always feel like doing a podcast, going to the gym. But if you're disciplined, you'll find yourself doing it anyway. And the discipline is what earns opportunities. Because nobody has to tell you you can get through the emotional. Like, motivation is emotional. right? Motivation is, I don't feel like it. I had a bad night. I had a bad morning. I ain't gonna go to the gym.
Yeah.
But it'd be those sessions when you go, and even if you get in there and you kind of mess around a bit, you still feel better because that's your pattern, and you get a reward from your brain like you did it. And then you can ride that high to your next plateau, your next opportunity, and you just build momentum that way.
See, I've experienced that in spurts, and I'll say like it'll maybe be a month or two, maybe 3, but never longer than that. Like I've never experienced longer than that, and I think that is where your life changes when you do it for a really long time.
Exactly.
I just realized a lot of that will be boring as well.
Well, people have this idea of consistency being boring, but it's nothing more rewarding, nothing more beautiful, nothing more exciting. Like I told you, to be chilling and have people chasing you down, looking for you because of the work you've already put in. Catch that. The work you've already put in catches up to you. And then that's when it really gets exciting, where you have these new opportunities that your hard work created. There's nothing better. Like when I became a therapist and I began to get multiple credentials, like I have 25 letters behind my name.
Oh. Huh? What is that? Explain what you mean.
So as a licensed therapist, there's levels. And every time I take a training, I get a credential that says this person is now an expert in X, Y, and Z. Right?
Yeah.
So the credentials gain me experience, and I bring my intangibles, and I just make noise out here. Right?
Wow.
Exactly. But
that's slick. I heard
that's
ice.
Ice.
Okay.
Ice. You see how I broke that down?
I did. I was like, oh.
Yeah, and I'm at the point where I can name my price. If you come in to see me, this is what you're going to send me afterwards.
This is what I require. Yeah.
This is my value. Man, it's beautiful.
Man,
can you imagine that you get to the point where you can dictate the market? I am the market.
That's a bar.
Yeah. But you put the work in, you become the market.
I will say, I also saw one thing. I did see it on social media, but the concept of it resonated. It was basically about how whether you do something or not, time is going to pass anyway.
For sure.
So there's your choice.
For sure.
You can not do anything and the time's going to pass anyway. Or you could do something and then see some results because the time's going to pass anyway.
And let's say this, based on our conversation, you can not do something and then on top of that feel bad for not doing it. And kick yourself and say, that. I know I could have did that. Regret. I know. Or you can have the opportunity and say, I'm gonna go get this and I'm gonna go kill it because I'm supposed to, and I know this is tailor-made for me. And you walk in there like you own the place, right? Humble in the sense of I'm willing to learn, I'm willing to meet the expectations, but confident enough to know I'm supposed to be here. And that's how you defeat imposter syndrome. No matter what you're doing, you can defeat imposter syndrome. I'm supposed to be here.
Uncle, you cooked. You cooked this episode. You cooked again. That's really. I appreciate you. I thank you
for sure.
Like I said, I've had some doubts, but I want to lean into more of my, more of faith and just say, okay, like you said, I don't know how this is gonna look, but I do have an idea of how this can work and what I can do to make sure it does.
Absolutely.
And I think as long as I guess, sit in that sweet spot,
that's it.
I should be okay.
You gonna be.
I should be okay.
You gonna be fine. You gonna be great.
So, Uncle, I do want to say again, thank you.
Absolutely.
And I want to ask if there's anything else that you want to share with the people before we wrap.
Absolutely. When y'all watch this episode, I need y'all to share this. I need y'all to like it. I need y'all to blow this episode up because people need it. And nephew is doing good work. Support him. And if you find me on social media, connect with me. And if you looking for me, you can find me on websites like Psychology Today. I'm real. Like, I'm out here for real. Put my name in. If you put my name in Google, David T. Brand Jr., you'll pop up and you'll see me. I'm out here doing this work. I'm not just talking. Straight up. Straight up.
Right. And he's also the dude that kind of gets me together in the gym. So,
we get to it.
Yeah, we get to it. We don't just talk. We lift. We lift some real weight.
Yeah.
So yeah, but Uncle, thank you again. Appreciate you.
Absolutely.
For being a guest once again on the Highlight Reel.
Hey, hold on. Blow Ryo up and tell him y'all want to see more of me. Tell him to make this a regular thing, and I'll jump on because I love what I do. I love helping people. Mm-hmm. I love supporting because I know people need that. And there's people who are watching who want to say, man, that spoke to me. Man, I needed that. Ryo, you need me on. You need me on often.
Yeah.
Right? Put pressure on him, y'all.
So
put pressure on him,
I won't guarantee, but of course, I always feel like you're someone that I can get value from because, like I said, as I've gotten older, the relationship that we have has changed a little because it's like you were my big uncle, but now it's like, well, a big uncle and father figure, but now
still your big uncle.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass you. Don't worry about all that. Okay, hold on. So but I think it's the big brother that I get now
for sure,
and that's probably my favorite. I think that's really cool because now I know that you see me as a man.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'm seen, I'm respected, and then you see the things that I do. So then you're saying, okay, he's his own person.
Yeah.
So I do enjoy that, but I have a feeling we'll have you on again.
Okay.
For sure. Okay. For sure. I'm
available.
Yeah.
I'm available.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I want to say thank you again, Uncle, for being a guest on the Highlight Reel. And I want to say thank you to the listener, the watcher of this episode of the Highlight Reel. Like he said, please like, subscribe, share, comment, do all those different things. Tell a friend and tell a friend. But I hope that you've been able to take something away from this episode of the Highlight Reel. I hope that you can use it to improve your life in one way or another. And with that being said, that's been your episode, and peace out.
Peace.